Hello and welcome to Vision Sport 360 on WTV. I'm Austin Arole, taking you through the ever exciting world of sports. Looking at what we have for you today, I think quite an interesting lineup. We have the upcoming bout, talking about boxing between Francis Ngannou and Nigeria's British boxer, Anthony Joshua. We also have something very, very special that is actually going up within Nigeria. Actually, it's something that has never happened in Nigeria before. The Danfo Rally. Danfo Rally that's going to be taking place in Lagos. As you all know, is something new. You all know, the Red Bull, have their own special way of introducing different kind of sports, into their curriculum, so to say. And this time around, they decided to come to Nigeria, and what they want to do is Danfo Rally. It's interesting to see how that is going to play out at the end of the day. So we hope that we'll be part of that particular event. We'll bring you update as well as that is concerned. There's also excitement as Kadri Jr., talking about Aaron Kadri's son, made his debut at the WTTF Youth Contender. So we have a champion in the making. Aaron Kadri, as you all know, has dominated Africa as far as table tennis is concerned. And his son, talking about Kadri Jr., it seems like he's about to take over from his father. And there's also the Nigerian badminton team that actually won some medals at the just concluded badminton championship that was held in Cairo. It was titled Cairo 2024. There's also news update from the Nigerian Professional Football League. We also have a Champions League update, Champions League fixtures, and Premier League fixtures for tonight. Liverpool will be taking Luton Town. So much to talk about on the show. But before we do that, we'd like to take a short break. And when we come back, we have a lot to talk about right here on Vision Sport 360. Welcome back to the show, and talking about boxing. We all know that it has been signed, the date has been set, the heavyweight bout between Nigeria British boxer Anthony Joshua and Cameroonian former heavyweight champion of the UFC Francis Ngannou. Now, looking at how this played out, we all know what happened recently, where Francis Ngannou had to fight against the heavyweight champion in boxing. I'm talking about Tyson Fury, where he almost won that game. As a matter of fact, a lot of people still believe that Francis Ngannou won against Tyson Fury because he was able to take Francis Fury down with that, that heavy punch. Even though Tyson Fury stood up, a lot of people are still of the opinion that there was actually not the right call, that something actually happened behind the scene, that Francis Ngannou should have won that fight. And building up to this game, Francis Ngannou versus Anthony Joshua, Francis Ngannou is talking tough. He said that unlike Tyson Fury, that was able to stand up after, giving him that heavy punch, that Anthony Joshua will not be able to stand up after after he has given him that same heavy punch. He's talking tough already. Everybody's looking at, the prospect of that shock, that upset. Will Francis Ngannou be able to upset a boxer? Traditionally, Francis Ngannou is not a boxer. He's a mixed martial artist. And then you see a boxer in Anthony Joshua. So a boxer fighting a mixed martial artist in a boxing ring. So it's going to be very, very interesting how he's going to do that. He almost succeeded against Tyson Fury. And this time around, he said he will beat Anthony Joshua and Anthony Joshua will not be able to stand up. So we're looking forward to this particular one. And the event is actually going to be around March 8th. March 8th is when the fight is going to take place. And if Francis Ngannou can achieve that, it means that we have one of the biggest upsets as far as boxing history is concerned. So we are looking forward to Francis Ngannou versus Anthony Joshua match. It's not only the hype. Everybody is actually anticipating it because it's actually a fight between two African brothers, a Cameroonian and a Nigerian. Neighbors in all right, Cameroon sharing border with Nigeria. Francis Ngannou being an African, fighting his African brother. So actually, we're looking forward to this particular one, Francis Ngannou against Anthony Joshua. And the match is going to be, one hell of a fight. Francis Ngannou is a heavy puncher. At the same time, we also know that when it comes to boxing, it's Anthony Joshua's game. Will there be an upset on March 8th? Is something now we'll come back here and talk about if that eventually happens. Who is your money on? Is it Anthony Joshua or Tyson or Francis Ngannou? Your guess is as good as mine. Moving on, let's talk something different. Something really different is happening in Nigeria as Lagos is set to host the maiden Red Bull Danfo Rally. Have you ever heard of that? This is actually a new sport that has been introduced to Nigeria by Red Bull. And unlike the Monte Carlo or the Dakar Rally, the Center of Excellence, which is Lagos, is gearing up for something very unique. Lagos will join list of global cities known for one motor rally or the other. We all know the popular Dakar Rally. We also have the Monte Carlo Rally. However, unlike the Monte Carlo and Dakar Rally, the Lagos one is going to be Red Bull Danfo Rally, which the organizers assures will actually be an exciting adventure. And this is actually the first edition, and it's going to be taking place on the 24th of February. So we are anticipating that the Danfo Rally. I'm looking forward to how that is going to look. I'm sure that it's going to be quite exciting and entertaining at the same time. Looking at all the Danfo buses, trying to overtake each other, even with little speed that they have. So we're looking forward to the Danfo Rally that will be taking place in Lagos. Having said that, we'll take a short break. When we come back, we have more to talk about on the show. Welcome back. It's the Vision Sport 360 on WTV. And now moving on, let's talk about football and developing story from France, where we all know it's no longer news that Kylian Mbappe has told PSG that he's no longer interested in staying at the club. Real Madrid are interested, and we also have rumors that Arsenal and Liverpool, the team that one of those teams that would be interested in signing Mbappe. As a matter of fact, Mbappe's mom is a Liverpool fan. Would that actually sway him to join, Liverpool instead of Real Madrid? I think only time will tell. And also the fact that Real Madrid actually being the only one after the signature of Kylian Mbappe, even right from the summer. And it has been reported that Real Madrid, what Real Madrid are offering Mbappe is way below what they offered him in the summer, because of the fact that Kylian Mbappe's contract will be expiring with PSG at the end of the season, and he told PSG he's not going to stay. And looking at it, there are just few clubs that can actually afford to sign Kylian Mbappe at this point. There are just few clubs that Kylian Mbappe will be interested in joining. And the number one club on that list would be Real Madrid. And Real Madrid, they are not actually quite apologetic about their desire to have Kylian Mbappe in their team. Recently, we have the La Liga president. We are talking about the fact that the deal for Kylian Mbappe to join Real Madrid is almost completed. It's as good as Kylian Mbappe is in Real Madrid already. And just like we always talk about, there's nothing guaranteed as far as sporting world is concerned. Today, everyone is talking about the fact that Real Madrid are the favorite for Mbappe's signature. But we all know that 24 hours in football, anything can actually change. We all know his history with Liverpool. Him joining, coming to Liverpool because he has to actually satisfy his mom's desire, because his mom wanted him to join Liverpool. So he came in to see the Liverpool management just to satisfy his mom's desire. So at the end of the day, that did not materialize. We also did talk about the fact that Jurgen Klopp is one of those managers that he would like to play on that. But unfortunately, Jurgen Klopp will also be leaving Liverpool at the end of the season. So it's going to be, should I say, a minus for Liverpool as far as the race, to capture the signature of Kylian Mbappe is concerned, because Klopp, which is one of those pulling factor, one of those factors that might, endear Mbappe to sign for Liverpool, will be leaving at the end of the season. So it all depends on who is going to join Liverpool also at the end of the season. We also have Arsenal, who are building up their team at the moment. They are one of those top teams in Europe this season. Playing to win the league. They are still in the UEFA Champions League. Who knows? Anything can happen at the end of the day. So we'll continue to keep you posted as far as the story develops. Kylian Mbappe's story. Is he going to join Real Madrid, Arsenal, or Liverpool? We'll talk about that when we get the update. Also, moving on, this time around, let's talk about tennis, as exciting times ahead for Nigeria. Kadri's Junior makes debut at the WTT Youth Contender. The Aruna Kadri's boy, as you all know, Aruna Kadri, just like I said, has dominated table tennis as far as Africa is concerned. He's been African number one for as long as I can remember. Always there at the WTTF World Series. He's always ever present, always winning the African African medal as far as the African Championship is concerned. We're talking about the tennis level. Also, you have him dominating Nigeria tennis. Once in a while you see Aruna Kadri soaring out at the World Championship to the quarterfinals. It's never been to the final, but each time it's hard to play against some of the best, because it's always been unlucky. Sometimes when it gets to that quarterfinal stage, you have to play against maybe the world number one, and eventually narrowly you always miss out on the semi-finals or even the finals. And we have now his son, Kadri Junior, trying to take over from the dad as he made his debut at the 2024 WTTF Youth Contender at Villarreal in Spain at the under 11 boys category at the weekend. Despite facing challenges in the past few days, Kadri Junior preserved and showcased his talent at the international stage. Kadri Junior, with his mother, who's also a coach, were there, and the mother actually was proud of what they've been able to achieve, and quite an exciting moment for Aruna Kadri, who is still playing tennis, and also due to take part at the ITTF World Table Tennis Championship in Busan, South Korea. But he has to be absent. He has to be absent because of some certain food issues, and so such a great for Anakadi, as he's not going to be present for the WITTF World Team Table Tennis Championship in South Korea. Moving on, let's talk about badminton. The badminton championship was held at in Egypt at the Cairo 2024. Nigeria claimed 7 medals with the country's number one badminton player, Oluwalapo Okoyori, reaching his 5th African title and 3rd back to back. So we're talking about one other player that is dominating Africa in his field in badminton. For Oluwalapo Okoyori, clinching back to back African title. He said that won the All African Senior Championship men's single in Port Harcourt. That was in 2019, and All African Games men's title in Morocco, also in 2019. The All African Senior Championship in Uganda 2022, the All African Senior Championship in South Africa 2023, and now in Egypt 2024. Nigeria's male team in the team event narrowly lost to Algeria in the finals event after securing the first 2 of their first games, thereby settling for the silver medal. The women's team also picked the valuable points after losing the semi-finals to Ugandan women's team. And in the individual event, we have Nigerians Wonder Boy talking about Oluwalapo, who stormed through the final by beating compatriot Victor Ikechukwu 23-13, 19-21, and 21-19. We can hold the rivalry with Mauritania, Georges, and Julien Paul. So Nigerians, 2 Nigerians playing in the final of the men's event. So very, very interesting coming from Nigeria. Let's take a short break now. When we come back, we have lots to talk about right here on the show. Welcome back to the show, Station Sport 360. Now, moving on, let's talk about football. Like we said earlier, Liverpool will be taking on Luton Town later tonight as they try to continue their pursuit of the title. We all know the coach will be leaving, the football will be leaving at the end of the season, and Liverpool, the win for Liverpool tonight would actually improve their chances. As we all know, they need to keep winning in order to actually keep that gap going, in order to actually try to stop the momentum of Manchester City and Arsenal, who are chasing behind them. And tonight they'll be taking on Luton Town. If you recall, the first leg that was played ended 1-1, and Liverpool had to snatch a draw courtesy of Luis Diaz, who came in and equalized for Liverpool in that particular game. And also tonight we're going to be seeing Arsenal taking on Porto. We have Napoli taking on Barcelona. Super clash as far as the Champions League is concerned. If you look at the clash, Arsenal, the team that just came back into the Champions League last season, and they are true to the knockout stages. I think it's a good one for Arsenal, and playing against a Porto team has also always been ever present in the UEFA Champions League. What can Arsenal do? Well, that inexperience, because most of these Arsenal players not really played in the Champions League, but that inexperience caused them, against Porto, is something that we're going to see tonight if that is going to happen. Also, talk about Napoli and Barcelona. Napoli and Barcelona. Barcelona not in a good place right now. The coach already said he's leaving at the end of the season. It seems like they are out of the race for the La Liga title. The race is now between Girona and Real Madrid. So they'll be looking to make amends and probably give Xavi a worthy send-forth party if they can actually win the Champions League. this season, and that will start against Napoli. The Napoli, for me, also not doing so well this season. They've been so inconsistent, defending champions in the league. But right now, they are number 10th on the log as far as the Italian Serie A is concerned. Will the Napoli team use this match against Barcelona to bounce back and bring their season back to light, bring their season back to worthwhile, having worthwhile end to the 2023-2024 season. They have Victor Osimhen back and forth now after his heroics at the just completed African Cup of Nations. Will his return actually be able to motivate back this Napoli team to beat the Barcelona team tonight? I think it's something that we'll have to wait for. The results will determine how that is going to happen. Napoli against FC Barcelona, two teams that are not at their best at the moment. Napoli number 10, Barcelona number 3 in the Spanish La Liga. So it's actually quite interesting how this team will try to navigate their way as far as the UEFA Champions League is concerned. And we also have one game for tonight as far as the Europa Conference League is concerned. It's between KAA Genk and Maccabi Haifa. The first leg was won by Maccabi Haifa, so they have the 1-goal advantage, taken from their first leg, and they play away from home against KAC Genk. And moving on, and as final story for today, we will have the World Cup qualifier between Nigeria and South Africa. The South Africans are already talking tough, as the former South African international Dr. Khumalo has expressed confidence that his Bafana team had the ability to triumph over the Super Eagles in the upcoming 2026 World Cup qualifier that will be taking place in June. Nigeria defeated South Africa at the just completed African Cup of Nations in the semi-final via penalty shootout. South Africa eventually finished third at the Nations Cup, and this is actually quite an important one, as either of the team, I'm talking about Nigeria or South Africa, will not be present at the World Cup if they don't get to finish at the top of their group. So interesting one, as the South Africans are beginning to talk tough to keep thinking of revenge of what Nigeria did to them at the just concluded African Cup of Nations. Nigeria, as you all know, are number 2 and in Africa, and they are also number 2 as far as the team standing is concerned. Nigeria is in Group C with South Africa and some other teams. They also have Zimbabwe in that particular group. So interesting one for Nigeria. They also have to work hard. Nigeria has not won a match at the World Cup qualifier yet. They have played 2 draws and looking forward to that game against South Africa. They need to win that match to keep hope alive. Keeping hope alive means that winning that match, they will go top of the table depending on what happens in the all-time game. So that's that as far as Nigeria versus South Africa is concerned, and that is that as far as today's edition of Vision Sport 360 is concerned. I want to thank our production crew for doing a marvelous job behind the scene, and on behalf of us all, I'm Austin Arame, and I say thank you for joining us on today's show.